Harbell's Grill and Sports Bar pregame show rolling along at Hammonds Field, where the Cardinals take on the San Antonio Missions in just about 7 minutes. 6:35 start time tonight. The opening game of this 6-game homestand in downtown Springfield. Starting lineups for tonight's ball game. First on the San Antonio side, and again they are back in the AA Central, and also back with the San Diego Padres. Their leadoff man and center fielder is Jose Azocar. Batting in the 2 spot, the right fielder and reigning player of the week in this league, it is Jack Sawinski, with the number 3 hitter and first baseman Kyle Overstreet. Cleanup hitter and DH for San Antonio, Brad Zunica. Ige Rosario is the number 5 hitter and second baseman. Estory Ruiz is batting 6th and playing left field, with Olivier Bosabe, the 7 hitter and third baseman. Chris Gibbon is batting 8th and starting at shortstop, and Chandler Siegel will bat 9th and catch for San Antonio. Aaron Leisure, the lefty we told you about a moment ago, he gets the nod for the Missions this evening. And San Antonio is managed by longtime skipper Philip Wellman, who was here in Springfield from 2011 to 2013 as the Cardinals hitting coach. He's been a manager in a whole bunch of different organizations, though, that has been in San Antonio with the Padres now for quite a few seasons. So great to have Welly back. Hitting coach for the Missions is Raul Padron. Pitching coach is Pete Zamora, and the coach is Freddie Flores. Starters for the Cardinals tonight. At the top of the order, it's the shortstop Delvin Perez, who leads this team with 6 steals already. In the 2 spot, playing second base, where he has been outstanding early on, it is the left-handed bat of Nolan Gorman. Ivan Herrera has caught fire once again. He's batting 3rd and catching tonight. With the cleanup hitter and first baseman Lucan Baker, who hit a grand slam on Sunday. In the 5 spot, the left fielder Alec Burleson, who's been a revelation since coming up from Peoria. Batting in the 6th spot, the DH Nick Plummer, who also has been outstanding. He's on a 9-game hitting streak in the heart of the Cardinal lineup. With David Vinsky batting 7th and playing right field. Justin Turner, the outstanding defensive center fielder, batting in the 8th spot. And Imeldo Diaz rounding it out, batting 9th and playing third base. Andre Palante, the Cardinals starting pitcher, 22 years old, and on the mound for his 6th appearance here in 2021 out of San Clemente, California. He'll get the ball for the Cardinals, who are managed, of course, by first-year skipper Jose Lajer. Pitching coach is Darwin Marrero. Hitting coach Tiger Peterson, with athletic trainer Chris Whitman and strength and conditioning coach Dan Vega. Umpires tonight, a familiar face, Isaiah Sbarba, the home plate umpire. He's the crew chief of this 3-man team. He's back from the 2019 season. He was in this league back in 2019, so great to have Isaiah Sbarba back calling balls and strikes with us here tonight. Evan Johnson is the third base umpire, and rounding out the umpiring crew, it is Ben Fernandez. He'll have the calls at first base. Missions are playing their 25th game of 2021. They've gone 11-13 so far. They sit in a tie for 4th place down in the South Division. They are 3.5 games out of first place down in the South, and the team atop that division currently is Frisco, the Rangers affiliate. They've gone 14-9 early on in 2021. Cardinals starting to turn it around. Again, we mentioned splitting the last series in Wichita 3 games apiece with the wind surge. So the Cardinals sit at 6-17, 7.5 games back. They're in 5th place, but plenty of time, obviously, here early in 2021 to kind of right the ship, and trying to do so as they open up a brand new month here in the 2021 slate after what was a tough May, but, you know, sometimes these things happen to open up a season. In fact, the Cardinals have had a worse month to start a season that ended up going okay. That was back in 2015. So the first month a season does not make, and we will progress here through the 2021 calendar, and the Cardinals looking to build on a good week in Wichita over the course of last week. At the top of the North Division, the Tulsa Drillers. We haven't seen Tulsa yet. They're the Dodgers affiliate in this league, and they've gone 14-10. They're tied with Wichita, also at 14-10. So the fact the Cardinals were able to split that series against the wind surge, certainly a good sign. Wichita has gotten off to a very good start here in 2021 with the Twins affiliation for the first time in the AA Central, formerly the Texas League, that the Cardinals, of course, play in. We've got Great Southern Bank dollar hot dogs. If you haven't done dinner yet, come on over. Bring the family. It's going to be a fun night at the ballpark. We've got a little bit of a mist falling, but you can always grab a spot on the concourse under the cover and enjoy the game from there, or sit in some of the covered areas around the stadium. We've got some room here on this Tuesday, so come on over, grab some Great Southern Bank dollar hot dogs, and enjoy a little Tuesday night baseball. Tomorrow, the series continues. It is a 6:35 first pitch against San Antonio. Purina Wolf Wednesday coming up tomorrow night. So you can bring your dog down to the ballpark. We do encourage all fans with dogs to enjoy the game from the outfield berm, of course. A little bit more comfortable for your four-legged friend. But come on over, bring your dog next week, or tomorrow, I should say, for Purina Wolf Wednesday. That, of course, coupled with the Happy Half Hour, which is the promotion every single night here at Hammonds Field, where we have drink specials on all adult beverages for fans 21 and up for the first 30 minutes after gates open. So that is a nightly promotion, and that will be in the mix along with Purina Wolf Wednesday tomorrow. Then we kind of kick off the weekend. We've got Thursday night baseball, and it's a Clements Dollar Bratwurst night on Thursday. That's a 7:05 start time. We'll have the Happy Half Hour going as well, and that is going to be all night long. So the Happy Half Hour on Thursday night will go the entirety of the game. You can get drink specials all night long on Thursday, in addition to those Clements Dollar Brats. We'll keep telling you about the upcoming fun as we go tonight, but first, our final break here in the Harbell's Grill and Sports Bar pregame show. We've got Cardinal baseball next on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cardinals baseball here on ESPN Radio, The Jock, 96.9, 99.9, and 1060 AM. I'm Andrew Buckbinder. Happy to have you along with us here for this Tuesday night ball game as the Cardinals kick off a 6-game homestand here at Hammonds Field, and do so with a 6:35 first pitch just moments away against the San Antonio Missions. We've got Logan Weber producing the broadcast for us back at the Jock Studios, and I want to say a quick thank you to all the folks with Zimmer Communications. They've been so great to work with throughout the season, but especially over the last couple weeks as I've been on sabbatical. And I want to also say a thank you to all the terrific broadcasters who helped fill in for me since May 5th. John Miller doing the home games, Steve Owens and Steve Newsom down in Arkansas, as well as our very own PR coordinator Matt Turr, who filled in for a game down in Arkansas as well. Mason Voth did a terrific job with the 6 games in Wichita last week. And, of course, the voices of the Travs, Stephen Davis, and the voices of the Wind Surge, Tim Grubbs, helping me out as well. So a big thanks to all of them. A big thanks to everybody with Zimmer Communications. And, of course, a big thanks to everybody tuning in and following this Cardinals club on the radio broadcast night in and night out. Well, we're ready for baseball here at Hammonds Field. It is Andre Palante, the Cardinal right-hander, who is set for his 6th start early on here in 2021. Palante just 22 years old. He's from San Clemente, California, and he has been outstanding so far through the first 5 AA performances in his young professional career. Big jump for Palante this year, coming all the way up from short season ball back in 2019. A lot of players making big jumps through the systems around minor league baseball, as Palante gets us going with a fastball that misses down and in for ball number 1. And we are off and running at Hammonds Field at 6:38 p.m. We do have a little mist falling to kick off the homestand. If it's raining, you know the Cardinals are in town. You don't even need a schedule, as a fastball burns in there for a strike, and the count quickly evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike for the leadoff man, Jose Azocar. Right-handed swinging center fielder at the top of the Missions lineup. Palante turns and fires the 1-1. Bends it a little down and in. And it's 2-1 for Azocar. The good news with the current mist scenario is, one, of course, it's light enough that we were able to get this game underway. And it's also not tremendously chilly out as of right now. This is down, and the count 3 balls and a strike. A good hitter's count for Azocar. Our first pitch temperature 60 degrees. Our glass half full statistician labeling it as overcast. You could probably add a little miss to that. Fastball in there, and the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Palante so far this year has gone 1-0 with a 2.01 ERA. 22 1/3 innings across the 5 starts so far for the right-hander. 21 hits, only 8 runs, just 5 earned. It's tapped foul here to keep it full for Azocar, 3-2. 14 walks and 22 strikeouts tallied by Palante. Taking on the San Antonio Missions. First time these teams have met here in 2021. Azocar is batting .261 with a home run, 9 RBIs, tapping another payoff pitch foul. This one catching the home plate umpire back there, Isaias Barba. And it'll keep it full for the San Antonio leadoff man. Missions are coming off of a series in Northwest Arkansas that concluded on Sunday with a 12-2 defeat at the hands of the Naturals. So San Antonio trying to get back on track here in Game 1 in Springfield. They've been on the road a ton this year early on. 3-2 from Palante. Swing and a miss by Azocar. And Palante strikes out the first man he faces here tonight. Elevating that fastball and blowing Azocar away. There's one down to get us going with Jack Sawinski settling in. Left-handed batting right fielder for the Missions. Now the Cardinal infield around from left to right. Imeldo Diaz patrols third base. He's currently shading up the middle in a shift. Delvid Perez is the shortstop and lone man on the left side of the infield currently. First pitch to Sawinski is outside for ball number 1. In the hole on the right side, it's Nolan Gorman, who's been playing a whole bunch of second base and doing a terrific job of it. Fastball fouled away by Sawinski, and the count pulls even at a ball and a strike. Lucan Baker, the Cardinal first baseman tonight, with Ivan Herrera suiting up behind home plate. All in support of the right-hander Palante, who sets up on the far first base side of the rubber. Peers in over the top of the mitt. And the 1-1 is just inside with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike for Sawinski. Sawinski is batting .265. He's got 5 home runs, 14 runs batted in this year. And just yesterday, the Chicago, Illinois native was named the AA Central Player of the Week as he waves late on a fastball from Palante. That count goes to 2-2. Sawinski, though, coming off a terrific week in Northwest Arkansas, battling those Naturals last week. Palante trying to get him here. 1 down, nobody on. 2-2 the count as Palante kicks and fires. And it's put on the ground to first base. Baker back half a stride, stops it at the thigh, and flips to Palante covering. 3-1 on the putout, getting Sawinski. And putting a quick second out up on the board. Now the Cardinal outfield around from left to right. Alec Burleson is out there in left field. Center fielder is Justin Turner with the right fielder David Vinsky. Cardinals are wearing the home whites. Springfield Birds on the bat logo right on the chest. All red caps with the white S logo on the front. And Palante's red cleats set up on the rubber, firing the first to Kyle Overstreet, a veteran member of this lineup who cranks the first one to deep left field. Burleson back towards the track. It bounces off the dirt up against the fence. And Overstreet is in with a double. It looked like it actually hit the chain link fence, which is out of play. Off the bounce, it should have been a ground rule double, I believe. But either way, Overstreet is at second base. A 2-out double for the veteran number 3 hitter. One man on and 2 down, and another experienced member of the San Antonio lineup will settle in. 25-year-old Brad Zunica. 6 feet 6 inches tall, 254 pounds, left-handed batter. And as the rain intensifies a little bit here at Hammonds Field, Palante will try to tally a final out here with no damage done. Overstreet off second base, 2 away. First pitch to Zuniga. Burns a little bit low with a fastball for ball number 1. We have seen both Overstreet and Zuniga before. Which in a normal year to have a member back from the previous season is not necessarily abnormal. This year it's a little bit more rare. The 1-0 is outside and the count 2-0. Zuniga spent 2019 in Amarillo, which spent 1 year as the Padres AA affiliate when San Antonio bumped up to AAA for that 2019 campaign. Zuniga connected on 16 home runs, 25 doubles that year. 2-0 for him here. Slides on in there from Palante with a good breaking ball. So the count 2-1 for Zuniga. That 2019 Amarillo team, the Texas League champions that season, of course. Zuniga hit .230 for him in 113 ball games. Palante out of the stretch, a quick kick in the 2-1. High and outside for ball number 3. So the count 3-1, and as you might expect, some of those veteran presences in this lineup not giving in with 2 outs here in this opening frame. Cardinals do play Zuniga to pull it on the infield with Delvin Perez set up the middle. And a high slider stays above the letters for ball 4. The double by Overstreet followed by a 2-out free pass worked by Zuniga. 2 on, 2 down. And Eggy Rosario coming up. He's the second baseman for San Antonio. Rosario is batting .206. He's got a home run. 10 runs batted in. Number 1 in white on the back of his navy blue San Antonio Missions jersey. Baker's off the bag at first base, just to the right of the runner, Zuniga. First to Rosario is fired across by Palante for a strike. Eggy Rosario spells his first name E-G-U-Y. He is a native of the Dominican Republic. 5'9" and 150 pounds on the roster. He squats down low in the right-handed batter's box. And a cutter from Palante whips on the inside corner for strike 2. Well, Palante not only battling San Antonio right now, but he's battling some raindrops. We started off with a mist. That has developed a little bit more intensely as this opening stanza has progressed. Here comes the 0-2, though, from the Cardinal right-hander. It's a high fastball looked at by Rosario for ball 1. Just out of the gates at Hammonds Field on a precipitous Tuesday night. Missions with a pair on thanks to a 2-out double and a 2-out walk. Palante with raindrops falling off the brim of his cap peers in. The 1-2. Swing and a foul, bounce down the third base side. So Rosario fights off the off-speed pitch. And we'll see another 1-ball, 2-strike offering from Palante. Palante is only making his 15th professional start, 17th outing. And between short season ball in 2019 and so far his first 5 AA starts, he's logged a 2.48 ERA in pro ball. The 1-2. Taken just a little bit low. Good breaking ball that somehow Rosario stopped his swing on in time and watched cut beneath the kneecaps. So the count pulls even at 2-2 for the right-handed number 5 hitter in this San Antonio order. 2 runners on at first and second base. Palante from the high set. The pitch is put on the ground through the middle of the infield. A base hit for Rosario, being waved around third. Overstreet. He'll score without a play. It's a 2-out RBI single for Rosario. San Antonio seizes an early lead with a 2-out rally. It's 1-0 Missions. Good piece of hitting by Eggy Rosario. A sharp ground ball that cut just to the shortstop side of second. In from second easily was Overstreet. Down to second base, Zuniga. He stopped there. Rosario, with RBI number 11 on the season, is on at first base. And the batter is Astory Ruiz. Left fielder and right-handed batter, hitting in the 6th spot. Set up in an even stance. Palante fires a fastball that's down and in. Ruiz able to check that swing, according to first base umpire Ben Fernandez. And the count is 1-0. Astory Ruiz batting .203, 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. Well, I'll tell you what, San Antonio will make you earn it on the pronunciation guide. Astory is spelled E-S-T-E-U-R-Y. As the 1-0 is ripped at and missed, and the count evens at a ball at a strike. They've got some good ones. Eggy, of course, E-G-U-Y. He just picked up the RBI single. Even the ones that you think would be easy, they've got Kuza, K-U-Z-I-A, not Kuzia, Kuza. So they throw some curveballs. 1-1 from Palante is a swing and a foul tip. That cut back to the backstop. So once again, Andre is ahead in the count here at a ball and 2 strikes, trying to find that final out in this opening frame, which has been somewhat elusive so far. He took care of the first 2 in San Antonio's lineup in quick order. Got a Zokar on a strikeout. Sawinski bounced out to first base. And that 2-out double by Overstreet. The 2-out walk by Zuniga. Rosario prevailed with an RBI base hit. He and Zuniga on currently with 2 away. 1-2. Swing and a rocket to left field. Burleson back a few strides, reaches up, and he pulls it in. Alec Burleson with a quick scramble, a couple of steps back and left, and it's the final piece of this opening frame. Through half an inning, though, an early lead for San Antonio, 1-0. It's Cardinal baseball on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Bottom of the first inning coming up at Hammonds Field on this Tuesday. The good news is the rain has subsided for the moment after it had picked up while the Cardinals were in the field a moment ago in the top of the first inning. The not good news, having to contend with those raindrops in San Antonio's bats. Andre Palante did yield the first run of the ball game on a couple of 2-out hits and a 2-out walk in between. So it is 1-0 San Antonio as the outstanding field crew at Hammonds Field, led by Brock Phipps and Derek Edwards, do a little of mid-inning maintenance on the mound and home plate areas, which get chewed up about as bad as anywhere, particularly when things get a little wet. But we really have the least amount of precipitation falling right now that we have since this game got going. So hopefully that is a sign of incrementally drier things to come over the next couple hours. Cardinals are picking him up for the first time tonight, and they'll be up against the left-hander for San Antonio, who is Aaron Leisure. Leisure wears number 14. He is 6'3", 288 pounds, 25-year-old out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan. 6th-round pick back in 2017 by the Padres. Leisure out of Morehead State University up in the hills in Kentucky, out towards West Virginia, the northeast side of the state in Kentucky. And so far, Leisure's been very good. 4 starts this year, 1-1 with a 2.93 earned run average. 15 and a third innings, 14 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. Has walked 10 and has struck out 16. He's given up a 246 batting average in total, with a whip that might be a little bit higher than he would want. And of course, that, again, whip measures walks and hits per innings pitched, basically a metric to track how many base runners you're giving up. And that is at 1.57, so that's an average of 1.5 base runners per inning. Want that a little bit closer to 1, but so far Leisure has been able to strand a whole bunch of them. So the southpaw is ready to go on the newly dried up pitching mound. And he'll navigate against this Cardinal lineup that has been one of the best in the AA Central this year. Top third of the order for Jose Lajer this evening is Delvin Perez, the shortstop, Nolan Gorman, the second baseman, and Ivan Herrera, the catcher. Three of the top prospects in the Cardinals system. All three off to outstanding first seasons in AA ball this year. Perez digs in on the right side. He's got that slightly open stance. Leans back a bit in the crouch. And the first one from Leisure finds the outside edge for strike 1. Delvin is batting .256. 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. This is game number 20 for the native of Loiza, Puerto Rico. Looks at one down and away, and the count pulls even at 1 ball and 1 strike for Perez. What has really been a blossoming part of his game as this early season has progressed has been his work on the bases. Delvin leads all Cardinals with 6 steals this year. Looks at a fastball down and away, 2 balls and a strike. That has been a category that he's been increasingly aggressive in lately as well, with 4 of those steals coming in just his last 6 ball games. Trying to get on here to open up the bottom of the first inning. Takes a fastball outside and leads the count at 3-1. Well, the San Antonio infield behind Leisure, Olivier Basabe is the third baseman. Shortstop is Chris Given. Second baseman is Eggy Rosario. Kyle Overstreet off the line at first base. 3-1 for Perez, finds the outside edge and the count full. Chandler Siegel rounds out the infield. He's back there catching. All around the left-hander and Aaron Leisure. He's got some AA experience under his belt back from 2019. Foul back to the screen, this payoff pitch. It'll stay full for Perez at the top of the lineup. Well, I say he's got a little AA experience, and a little is maybe even gracious. He appeared in 1 game for Amarillo back in 2019 in the Padres system and gave up 7 runs on 4 hits in 2 1/3 innings. Full count for Delvin Perez. The payoff pitch is a little bit low for ball 4. Good take by Perez, working the leadoff walk. Cardinals have a man on to get the bottom of the first inning going. And put a man on for Nolan Gorman, coming up for the first time today. Gorman enters action today, batting .274, 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. He's appeared in 22 of the Cardinals' first 23 ball games. Came off the bench on Sunday, which had been a day off for Nolan, and got a pinch hit appearance in the 9th inning of that ball game. And he has been as everyday just about as anybody. As a throw checks on Perez at first base. Delvin not going anywhere, however. Will continue to be held on by Overstreet on the bag at first. The middle infield is primed to try to turn 2 and cover as well. Throw to first base. Perez leaning a bit this time, but he steps back. And we'll set back up for the first one for Gorman. 21-year-old slugger out of Phoenix, Arizona. Slightly open on the left side, bat resting on his shoulder. Leisure again throws to first base, and once again Perez steps back safely. San Antonio in the outfield tonight. In left is Story Ruiz. Center fielder is Jose Azocar. Right fielder Jack Sawinski. From the stretch, Leisure fires to Gorman, and it's laced on a line left field. A base hit for Gorman. Perez into second base, stops there. Cardinals have their first 2 on to open up this opening frame. Gorman finally getting his first pitch of the plate appearance after 3 straight throws to first base from Leisure. And a terrific piece of hitting with Gorman roping a line drive the opposite way to left field. So he continues what has been an outstanding stretch in the batter's box. Nolan has now been on base in 18 of his last 21 games. 2 on and nobody down. Here's Ivan Herrera. Cardinal catcher batting .264, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. Herrera turning 21 years old today. First pitch to him is outside, an off speeder for ball number 1. Herrera and Gorman entered action as 2 of the youngest players in AA ball, both 20 years old on opening day. Nolan Gorman turned 21 back on May 10th, and Ivan caught him today. Perez hopping around at second base. It's a swing and a foul by Herrera. Perez stays put on the pitch, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Ivan Herrera had really opened up the season on fire, then had a little bit of a cool off, but boy, he's picked it up again. 3 for 4 back on Sunday with a double, 2 singles, a walk, and 2 runs. Two men on for him here, nobody down. Leisure set at the letters. And the lefty fires. It's a fastball down and outside for ball number 2. Herrera comes into this game with hits in each of his last 3, during which time he's gone 7 for 14. Hitting .500 in his last 3 games, a double and 6 runs scored. Looking to drive some in right here with 2 on. Pitch to Herrera, ripped through the left side, a base hit to left field. Perez scrambles to third and will stop there. Gorman into second, Herrera at first base. They're loaded with nobody out in the first inning. Ivan Herrera with a line drive right through that 6-5 hole. No chance for Basabe, the third baseman, to have a play. There are Cardinals at each post now for the cleanup man, Lucan Baker. Baker hit a first inning grand slam on Sunday at Wichita. Would love to do it again for a second straight ball game. Perez at third, Gorman at second, Herrera at first base. No outs in this bottom of the first inning. San Antonio, at least for the moment, leading the game 1-0. Leisure fires the first. Baker with a big swing and miss. And it's another good one for Lucan. 24 years old from Spring, Texas. Baker is up to .269 for a batting average this year. He too has really been on a stretch where he's just been swinging a great bat. Nothing at 1 offering. Tails down and outside, and the count pulls even at 1-1. 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in for Baker. 22nd game of his debut AA season. Right now the base is loaded for him with no outs. The 1-1. Swing and a looper into left field. That's going to get down. Base hit for Baker. Perez is in from third. Gorman comes burning around third and scores without a play. It's a go-ahead 2-run single for Lucan Baker. Cardinals lead it 2-1 here in the first inning. RBIs number 13 and 14 for Baker. Once again coming through with the bases loaded in the first inning. Hit that grand slam on Sunday, and he drops a 2-run single into left center here. So the Cardinals responding right away. It's 2-1 Springfield. They've got 2 men on with Herrera at second base, Baker behind him at first. The batter is Alec Burleson. Left-handed batting left fielder for the Cardinals. Leisure delivers. Breaking ball that settles on that outer corner for strike 1. Burleson batting in the 5 spot in this lineup has been outstanding. .350 hitter. He's got 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. All of this in a grand total of 10 games. 0-1. Bounced softly down the first base side, a foul ball. The count 0-2 for Burleson. Alec is out of Denver, North Carolina. Stands in at 6'2", 210 pounds. He joined the Cardinals from High A Peoria back on May 17th and welcomed himself to Double A with a 9-game on-base streak. He has been on in 9 of his first 10 games. 0-2. Check swing foul, lined right above the San Antonio dugout on the third base side. So the count will hold at 0-2 for Burleson, who was kept off base for the first time in Double A on Sunday. Wichita kept him 0 for 4. And he has been terrific since coming up from Peoria, where, as you'd expect, he was tearing up high A ball. 0-2 from Leisure, angled down and outside for ball number 1. Burleson had a delay, as so many guys did that were drafted in 2020 into his pro career. There wasn't any minor league baseball last year, but he was the Cardinals' second-round pick in 2020. And he's hit the ground running in pro ball here in 2021. 2 on, nobody down. 1-2 curveball, dips down and outside, and Burleson evens the count at 2-2. Opening inning of action and a whole bunch of it so far. San Antonio had started the scoring with 1 run in the top of this inning, but Springfield countering quickly with 2 tallies before even an out has been recorded here in the last of the first. Still 2 on, still nobody down. 2-2 the count for Burleson. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A good off-speeder from Leisure. That had Burleson over the top of it. So the swinging strikeout is out number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning. And the batter is Nick Plummer. Plummer DHing this evening, an outfielder on this Cardinal club, who's been perhaps the steadiest of all Cardinals in the batter's box this year with a .314 average, 3 home runs, and 10 runs batted in. First one from Leisure. Plummer started to swing, and he grazed it foul. Isaiah Barba, the home plate umpire, making the call, which is too bad because it looked like he would have been able to stop his swing and check it, but ended up inadvertently making contact with that pitch. A good one from Leisure for strike 1. 0-1 delivery is bounced down the first base side, a foul ball. And the count quickly 0-2 for Nick Plummer. He's 24 years old. He's from Lathrop Village, Michigan. Singled, walked, and scored as the leadoff man back on Sunday when Delvin Perez had the day off. And he has really blossomed here in his 6th year in pro ball. Obviously missed a year last year. Plummer, the first-round pick of the Cardinals right out of high school up there in Michigan back in 2015, and that bat has really taken off here in 2021. 0-2 is down and away. Good stop back there by Siegel, the catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Plummer. San Antonio authored a 2-out rally in the top of this inning to take the early lead. Cardinals with a different approach. They've put up 2 runs with before there was a single out recorded. Currently 2 men on and 1 down for Plummer. 1-2. Swinging a grounder sharply to second. It gets by Rosario. Trickles into right field, around third, and scoring without a play is Herrera. It's 3-1 Cardinals on a ground ball from Nick Plummer. We will see how that will be ruled. It got on Rosario in a hurry, but it did go right past him. Got his glove on it. It kind of handcuffed him a little bit as we get a federal protection replay. So Plummer is able to bring one in, and they will give an error to the second baseman. An E4 on that play. No RBI for Plummer, of course. Herrera able to come in from second. Baker to second. Plummer is on. And the batter coming up is David Vinsky to try to keep this line moving. 3-1 Cardinals, bottom of the first inning. 2 on, 1 down. Vinsky settling in for the first time. We did have a Burrell Behavioral Health mound visit, by the way, as the pitching coach for the Missions, Pete Zamora, went out to talk with Leisure and just kind of settle down his southpaw. He's had a lengthy opening frame. Leisure at 25 pitches here in this first. First one to Vinsky is ripped right back to the screen, foul for a strike. Well, our mound visits, of course, brought to you by Burrell Behavioral Health. Whenever you need to chat, Burrell Behavioral Health is there for you with quality care from experts you trust. Visit burrellcenter.com today. Vinsky set up on the right side, an even stance for the right fielder, batting in the 7th spot in the Cardinal lineup. Hitting at a clip of .222 with 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Baker, the runner at second base. Plummer behind him at first. Nothing at 1 delivery is cranked deep to left center field. Flying back in the gap is Azokar. He'll turn around and watch it roll up against the fence. Extra bases for Vinsky. Baker scores. Hot on his heels, Plummer. He scores as well. It's a 2-run double for David Vinsky. And it's 5-1 Cardinals here in the first inning. Third double of the year for Vinsky. RBIs 10 and 11. In from second, Baker. All the way in from first base was Plummer, with really a great read on that ball, knowing there wasn't a chance any Mission was going to make a catch out there. And with 1 down, he didn't wait around to make sure. He took off and read it well, scoring from first base. Well, we've got a quick Mr. Oil Change Express pitching change, Mr. Car Wash pitching change here in the bottom of the first inning. A new Mission taking over after this pitching change break. It's 5-1 Cardinals on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Well, back on Sunday at Wichita, this Cardinal lineup put up 4 runs in the opening frame against the Wind Surge, and they have followed that up here in the opening game of this homestand against San Antonio with a 5 spot in the bottom of the first inning. The most recent drive, the 2-run double by David Vinsky. He stands at second base. There's only 1 away. The batter is left-handed swinging Justin Turner. 8th man to come up for the Cardinals, and the first to do so against the new right-hander, Dylan Rowe, in this Mr. Car Wash pitching change for San Antonio. 5-1 Cardinals, bottom of the first inning. 1 on, 1 down. And the pitch to Turner angles down and into the strike zone at the last minute. Strike 1. Dylan Rowe is 6'9" on the mound, 245 pounds. He's 29 years old, out of Garson, Canada. An imposing presence out there at 6 feet 9 inches tall. Nothing in 1 pitch to Turner. Bends around the outside edge. 1-1. Justin, the left-handed swinging center fielder out of Temecula, California, who is appearing in his 17th ball game here this season. 152 average with 1 home run, 1 run batted in. Trying to keep it going here in the bottom of the first inning for the Cardinals. Pitch to Turner, high and outside, a fastball, the count 2-1. This inning, to kind of recap it for you, as it has been going on for a little while. We got going at 6:35. It is 7:17, and we're in the bottom of the first. So get cozy. Cardinals will take it, though, with a 5-run outburst in the bottom of the frame. Pitch to Turner, down and in, the count 3-1 for Justin. It all got going with a Red Wing Shoes walk that was drawn by Delvin Perez. And you know, wherever your feet take you, visit Red Wing Shoes at 1707 South Campbell. They've got a full line of Red Wing work boots, Irish setter work and hunt boots, and Heritage Classic handcrafted footwear for men and women at Red Wing Shoes. Pitch to Turner, swing and a miss. The count running full 3-2. After the walk by Perez, it was a base hit to left for Gorman. Base hit to left for Herrera that loaded the bases. Baker brought in a pair with a 2-run single. 1 out later, Herrera came in on an error off the bat of Plummer. Pitch to Turner's outside. It's ball 4, and that's another Red Wing Shoes walk. Second one of the inning as Turner will bring up Imeldo Diaz. Now with 2 on and still only 1 down. That walk brought to you by Red Wing Shoes, serving Springfield for over 50 years. Red Wing Shoes has a fit for every customer and a boot or shoe for every walk of life. Visit Red Wing Shoes in Springfield today at 1707 South Campbell. Cardinals at first and second base. The batter is the number 9 hitter, Imeldo Diaz. Set up on the right side, facing Dylan Rowe, the brand new righty on the mound for San Antonio. Fastball is zipped in for strike 1 to Diaz. This is the first year in the Padres farm system for Rowe. Second outing. He's logged a total of an inning and 2/3. Did so without a run. He did give up a hit, 2 walks and a strikeout. Nothing at 1 for Diaz. Put in the air, foul out of play to the right field side of the ballpark here at Hammonds Field. And the count 0-2. Rowe made his Missions debut back on May 28th. That was in Northwest Arkansas, where he kept the Naturals from doing any damage against him. Cardinals have done plenty of damage so far in this ballgame, ahead 5-1. 0-2 to Diaz, outside, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. After the run-scoring error off the bat of Plummer, it was a 2-run double from David Vinsky. Pummeled out to left center field up against the fence. That plated both Baker and Plummer from second and first base. That extended this early advantage from 3-1 up to 5-1. Cardinals still threatening, still with only 1 out. As Rowe kicks and fires. Tap foul by Diaz, skipping it back to the backstop. And the count will stay at 1-2 for Imeldo. Diaz out of Villa de Cura in Venezuela. Has really been a good presence in this Cardinal infield. He can play a whole bunch of different positions. He's suited up at second base, short, and third. Playing third base today. 1-2 fastball is taken outside, and the count pulls even at 2-2. But that has been really a big help with the importance put on getting Nolan Gorman a whole bunch of repetitions at second base. Gorman, of course, as good of a third baseman as they come, and he has transitioned seamlessly to second since starting that off about 2 weeks ago. As the 2-2 is put on the ground softly to the right side, Rosario scoops it up, his only place to first base, and he shuttles it there in time. So Diaz retired 4-3, does move the runners, however, with Vinsky darting into third base. Turner down to second base. And back into the batter's box is Delvin Perez, who got this all going with the leadoff walk. Delvin now with an opportunity to pick up a couple of runs batted in. Good speed both at third and second. Vinsky and Turner in that order. 2 outs. They'll both be off on contact, and you'd think both would have a good chance at scoring on a single. First from Rowe, a fastball burned across for strike 1 to to Perez rather. Delvin, in his 20th game, has now touched home plate 14 times this year. 14 runs for Delvin Perez. Off to a very good start at the top of this Cardinal lineup. 0-1 delivery, twists down out of the strike zone for ball 1. 5-1 Cardinal lead, bottom of the first inning at Hammonds Field. Perez, the number 28 prospect in the Cardinals system. One of really a handful of former first-round picks on this Springfield roster. 1-1 from Rowe, missing outside with a fastball. 2-1. Perez was picked out of high school down in Puerto Rico. That was back in 2016. Got an opportunity to suit up in Major League spring training for the first time before this season for St. Louis and really made the most of it. 2-1 pitch to him is fouled back out of play. That'll even it out at 2-2. Delvin went 2 out of 7 in big league camp. A double, a triple, 2 RBIs, and a run. He's been rated as the Cardinals' best defensive infielder by Baseball America for the last 2 years, and that bat has really started to catch up to the glove. That is carried right into this season. 2-2. Tap foul as Perez fights off a breaking ball and will stay alive. Another 2-2 coming from big Dylan Rowe here momentarily. First of 6 in a row, Cardinals in the San Antonio Missions locking horns tonight. After this ball game, or rather after this series, starting next Tuesday, the Cardinals stay home. We've got back-to-back home series, and the Arkansas Travelers come to town. Here's a pop-up right side, going back from the infield to Rosario. Gliding into shallow right field and putting it away over the shoulder. So Perez retired on a pop out. That wraps up a big first inning as the Cardinals send 10 to the plate. They bring 5 home and lead it 5-1 through one busy frame here at Hammonds Field on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. What a start to the homestand here at Hammonds Field with the Cardinals exploding for 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning at a 5-1 advantage. Top of the second frame, Andre Palante back to work for the first time in an eternity. And he deals the first one a strike here to start off Olivier Basabe. I don't think Olivier Basabe is the toughest name on this roster, but he's probably in the top 3. He hits you with the first and the last name. Fastball down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. I will give credit because, you know, you get a wide variety of pronunciation guides on team rosters. And the San Antonio Missions, their PR manager, Jeremy Sneed, down there at Wolf Stadium, have done a terrific job as a fastball is in there for a strike. And the count of 1-2 favoring Palante. So we're surviving the adventure of pronouncing the San Antonio Missions names entirely due to the great work by the PR team down with the Missions. We appreciate it. Fastball is outside here, 2-2. 1-2-1 the line for San Antonio after what had been a good first inning for them, but then the Cardinals retaliating with 5 runs on 4 hits, a couple of Red Wing shoes walks. Fly ball down the right field side, tailing towards the line and touching down foul. So Basabe back into the batter's box, 2-2. Giving chase on that was Vinsky out in right field. And it will set back up for the 2-2. Well, Palante had to work a little bit to get his final out back in the first inning. He wound up with 33 pitches in that opening frame, which seemed like a lot, and certainly is. But then the bottom of the inning happened. 2-2, swing and a miss by Basabe. Blown away from Palante. It's the first out here in the second. Andre Palante opens up each of his first 2 innings with a K. Well, he elevates that fastball, and that was the same pitch that got Zokar to ring him up on the first strikeout of the day. Palante getting Basabe here. Chris Given, the batter, right-handed hitter. Fly ball on the first pitch to medium deep right field. Vinsky rounds on it, sizes it up, and puts it away. So a quick out. Those are certainly critical There are 2 down in this second frame. Cardinals ahead 5-1. Chandler Siegel is the batter. Palante wound up at 33 pitches, but the Cardinals chased Aaron Leisure, the starter for San Antonio. He had tossed 27 pitches and only gotten 1 out. Dylan Rowe then came in and he threw 18 more. 45 pitches in that bottom of the first inning from the tandem of Mission's pitchers. First to Siegel is a heater that's in for a strike, 0-1. Good plate appearance after good plate appearance by the Cardinals, and they just kept getting guys on. It took them until the 5th hitter of the inning to even get out. Up and inside, a fastball. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike from Palante. And the 1-1 from the righty. Tapper foul over by the San Antonio on deck circle. The count 1-2. Well, great to see so many smiling faces around the ballpark. Of course, all the mask ordinances lifted for the indoor and outdoor areas here at the stadium in line with CDC, Major League Baseball, local guidelines, all updating. That happened in time for last homestand as a fastball is inside. The count 2-2. And then capacity restrictions lifting as well beginning today. Now the rain had some other plans. But a good Tuesday night crowd considering the conditions. 2-2. Swing and a bouncer to the right side. Gorman right there at second base. Spears it at the letters and whips a throw to first. A quick 1-2-3, top of the second, put together by Andre Palante. It is 5-1 Cardinals through a frame and a half on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Now the second inning of Cardinal baseball, as always, brought to you by our friends at Mercy, the official sports medicine and orthopedics provider of the Springfield Cardinals. To find the Mercy Pro that's right for you, visit mercy.net/Team Cardinals. Just spent a whole lot of time over at Mercy in the labor and delivery department. Outstanding experience. And here in the bottom of the second inning, Cardinals enjoying their experience so far at Hammonds Field. They lead it 5-1. Coming right back up to the plate is the heart of the Cardinal lineup. And they will be up against the righty Dylan Rowe, who took over to find the final 2 outs in that opening stanza. So 2, 3, and 4 for the Cardinals coming up. It's Gorman, Herrera, and Baker, each of whom reached with 3 consecutive singles in the first inning. Rowe's first in the second is inside to Gorman. Set up in the left-handed batter's box. He lurched out of the way of ball number 1. Gorman's base hit in that first inning continued what has been an outstanding stretch for the 21-year-old in getting on base. Pitch to him is roped up the middle, a base hit for Gorman. 2 innings, 2 hits. Nolan Gorman right back on. And it's a leadoff single to start the second frame. Well, his first hit was a line drive to left field. This was a scorched ground ball right by the pitcher Rowe on the mound. And no shot for either middle infielder to make a play on it. So Gorman, as we noted after his first hit, has now reached in 18 of his last 21 games. And if you just kind of go overall this year, he's played in 23 games. And he's been on base in 18 of those 23. This is a fastball outside. Ball number 1 for Ivan Herrera. Outstanding start to the first AA season for Gorman. Outstanding start for Herrera as well. Singled and scored in the first inning. He's up here with a 1 on and nobody down. And he takes a fastball on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Herrera with a .264 average, bolstered by 3 hits back on Sunday, 3 for 4 out in Wichita. This is inside from Dylan Rowe. The count 2-1. Ivan has connected on 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. He did hit a grand slam back on May 15th. That was down in Arkansas, which is an exceedingly difficult place to hit home runs. That's a big ballpark down at Dickey-Stephens. Pitch to Herrera, snaps a little down and in. 3-1, the hitter's count for the Cardinal catcher. But a tip of the cap here, Matt Turr, our PR and digital media specialist, coming up with some good birdseed in the Cardinals game notes. That grand slam by Ivan Herrera made him the 2nd youngest Springfield player to ever hit a grand slam. Here's a fly ball hit high to medium deep center field. Camping out under it is Azokar. Gorman had taken off on the pitch, but plenty of time to get back to first as Azokar makes the catch. So 1 on and 1 down. Gorman at first base. Lucan Baker coming up. Ivan Herrera, 20 years old and 348 days at the time of his grand slam back on May 15th. That is youngest, 2nd youngest, only to Colby Rasmus, who back on July 6th, 2007, at the ripe young age of 20 years and 329 days, hit a grand slam. So Rasmus snuck in there 19 days younger than Ivan Herrera when Ivan followed him 14 years later with a grand slam. Rasmus will hang on to the crown of youngest Cardinal player in Springfield to ever hit a grand slam, at least for now. First one to Baker was a strike. Here's the 0-1 for Lucan, and it tucks a little low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lucan Baker, who connected with a 2-run single his first time at bat today, dropping it into left center field. Really just an outstanding piece of situational hitting. Here's a foul ball back out of play. And the count 1-2 for Lucan. He had the bases loaded and nobody out. Baker had just hit a grand slam again on Sunday, and so often you see after success like that, that player come out the next game and maybe try to overswing a little bit. Rip and a miss here for strike 3. Baker down on a swinging K against Rowe, so there are 2 down here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. But that really speaks volumes to the approach of Lucan Baker, who had an opportunity to try to hit a grand slam in the 1st inning for the 2nd straight ball game, and instead did not try to do too much. Dropped a base hit into shallow left center, uncatchable out there for Ruiz, the left fielder, and it swung Springfield ahead 2-1 at the time, leading to a big 5-run inning. Gorman at first base, 2 down. The batter Alec Burleson, and the pitch is a chopper to the right side, softly hit. Ruiz with a little, or rather Rosario with a little hop to bring it down. Took a weird bounce out there, but he's able to make the play in the 4-3 putout. So a quick wrap up to the 2nd frame, a good one for Dylan Rowe, settling things down for San Antonio. It is 5-1 Cardinals through 2 on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Andre Palante right back to work here at Hammonds Field, where the Cardinals hold a 5-1 lead through the first 2 innings. All of the runs from both sides done in the 1st frame. Each able to navigate through a scoreless 2nd. And the first pitch here in the 3rd frame by Palante. Lifted foul, back out of play. Strike number 1. Jose Azokar is the batter at the top of the San Antonio lineup. They're going back through for the 2nd time against Andre. Palante has retired 4 in a row. One is lifted foul out of play to the right side. That one's sailing over the sweets. On a night where the Ozarks weather is beginning to cooperate, knock on wood. Oh, 2 from Palante. High fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Azokar hitting .261, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. Even stance right side. Palante, that slow windup explodes in with a fastball pointed down and in. And 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Mission's leadoff man at the top of their lineup. As Okar is playing in his 25th ball game this year, he's played every game for San Antonio so far. Mission's coming into this one at 11-13. Slow tapper just by the mound, left side. Backhanded stab by Diaz. No play at first base, however. It's an infield single for Azokar. So that stretch of 4 straight outs retired by Palante comes to an end with a very soft infield base hit. Essentially a swinging bunt that he angled just out of the range of Palante, darting to the third base side of the pitcher's mound. After it got by Palante, really no chance for Diaz to come in that far on a ball hit that softly and have a chance at first base, particularly with the speed of Azokar. So it starts off the third with a man on. Jack Sawinski is the batter. Cardinals play him to pull it on the infield. First one is squared around on. He pulls the bunt back and he takes a breaking ball down and in for ball 1. Palante got Sawinski to ground out to first base. Baker took care of it with a 3-1 put out. Palante covered and beat Sawinski to the bag. That was back in that first inning. One ball, no strikes. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base. Herrera gets him at second. A terrific throw by Ivan Herrera catching Azokar. There's one down and nobody on. A good pitch to go on. A fastball that Sawinski ripped through and missed, but that was an outstanding throw by Ivan Herrera. One ball, one strike for Sawinski with nobody on. Fastball just inside for ball 2. Now Sawinski just tore apart Northwest Arkansas last week, en route to being named the AA Central Player of the Week for May 24th through the 30th. He hit .450 down at Arvest Ballpark. This is just down and in. Boy, second straight pitch in that spot, barely missing the inside corner. 3-1 for Sawinski, a good hitter's count. He had 2 home runs against the Naturals, 3 doubles, 1 triple. He drove in 6 runs. He scored 6 runs. Fouls this back up to the top of the screen. It skips over into the stands. And a full count coming for Sawinski. He also stole a base, walked 3 times, and tallied an on-base percentage of .542 with a slugging percentage of 1,000. Not a bad week of work for Sawinski down in Springdale. Foul ball out of play right by the Redbird Roost this time, and the count will stay full, 3-2 for him. With the Cardinals ahead 5-1 here at Hammonds Field in the top of the 3rd inning. Sawinski 0 for 1 so far. That week really lifted his batting average. He's hitting .265 now. Pitch to him is inside. It'll be ball 4. A 1-out walk taken by Sawinski. So he trots down to first base. There's 1 away. The batter is Kyle Overstreet coming back up. That caught stealing by Ivan Herrera just a moment ago, throwing out Azokar. 5th time Ivan has caught a runner this year. He'd gotten off to an uncharacteristically slow start in that department. This is right on the outside edge. A good breaking ball by Palante. Overstreet perhaps disagreeing a little bit with the call, but he trails it 0-1. Herrera now is 5 out of 22 catching base stealers, so that's right about 19.5% or so, just under 20%, where his career clip is significantly higher, right around 40% catching base runners. So I think the best is yet to come in that department for Yvonne this year, as a foul ball is knocked back to the backstop and the count 0-2. He certainly showed off the arm on the Azokar attempt a moment ago. Sawinski on at first base. Baker holds him close to the bag. The middle infield of Gorman and Delvin Perez angling towards second, with Imeldo Diaz right about standard at third base. Outfield a step back. From the stretch, Palante with a fastball misses up and outside, and the count 1-2 strikes. Well, Kyle Overstreet, no stranger at a Hammonds Field or the Cardinals. He's been around for a while. He was in Amarillo back in 2019. If I remember correctly, I think he hit an inside the park home run in Amarillo against the Cardinals. 1-2 pitch, down and in, 2-2. I think it was Overstreet. There was a sod poodle, an Amarillo sod poodle, who hit the ball into the left field corner. Lars Nootbaar was playing left field and struggled to get it out of the corner. The umpires did not ever call the play dead, and the batter just kept chugging around the bases, and I believe it was Kyle Overstreet who hit that ball back in 2019. 2-2. Fouled away. Now, I think the umpire should have called the play dead. Clearly, I've hung on to it for the last year and a half. Overstreet back in 2019 did hit 7 home runs. He was also in Double-A ball in 2018 in San Antonio before the one-year switch to Amarillo. 2-2 is over the outside corner, called strike 3. Overstreet checked his swing, struck out looking, and disagreed with all of it. But another K for Palante, who's up to 3 so far today. 2 down in the top of the third. Cardinals ahead 5-1. Let's see if I can multitask here and find that game that I'm remembering from 2019. It was late in the year. Cardinals were down in Amarillo. I think it was actually an inside the park grand slam. I think it was back on July 16th. Brad Zuniga, the hitter, he was out there in Amarillo that year, and he takes a look at a breaking ball outside from Palante. It's 1-0. Overstreet went 2 for 4 on July 16th, 2019 against Springfield with a home run. I think that was the only home run he hit against the Cardinals, at least in that series. So that must have been it. Inside the park grand slam, if I remember correctly, is diving back into first base here. Sawinski. I'll tell you exactly who would remember. The Prince of the Panhandle, Sam Levitt, who's the voice of the Amarillo Sod Poodles, would definitely remember. So might be worth an in-game text here. And we'll just leave everybody on the edge of your seats as we confirm that. This ball in the dirt didn't get far away, but Herrera lost it, and scampering down to second is Sawinski on what will be a wild pitch charged to Palante. 2-0 also the count for Zuniga, left-handed DH. Cleanup hitter for Amarillo, or excuse me, for San Antonio. Zuniga in 2019 as a sod poodle, who was the Padres affiliate for that 1 year. He had gotten off to a tremendous start to 2019 season. 2-0 to him is ripped at and missed. Good fastball for strike 1. Zuniga won, I believe it was the first Player of the Week award back in the former Texas League in 2019. And what a difference a couple of years make. 2-1 to him here is outside for ball 3. San Antonio at Wolf Stadium is not an easy place to hit the ball out of. That is a big ballpark. The wind normally doesn't really help you out. Gets hot and humid in the season. The ball doesn't fly very well. Well, then you go to Amarillo, which is far and away the best place to hit home runs in the Double-A Central. Here's a fly ball hit deep to center field. Gliding back, though, is Turner. He's there with plenty of time. It's a long final out to a scoreless top of the third inning. Good work by Palante to keep it 5-1 Cardinals through 2.5 on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Last of the third inning at Hammonds Field. Cardinals leading it 5-1. Scoring 5 in the first. Against these San Antonio Missions. Nick Plummer leads it off for Springfield. Left-handed DH will be followed by David Vinsky and Justin Turner. 6, 7, and 8 here for the Cardinals. First one to Plummer, down and in, down by his toes for ball one, out of the right hand of Dylan Rowe. 1-0. Mission shading to the right side, playing Plummer to pull it out of the left-handed batter's box as Rowe delivers. Gets 3/4 of a swing from Nick, and the count evens out at 1 strike. Rowe is one of the last names on this team that you might hear and say, well, that's an easy one. It's spelled R-H-E-A-U-L-T. French, I believe. Foul ball back into the screen, 1-2. Plummer reached on an error, shot a ground ball to the right side of the infield that ate up Rosario and allowed 2 runs to score, allowed 1 run to score rather. Herrera came in from second on that ball. That made it 3-1. Swing and a miss here on a good breaking pitch by Rowe. Plummer grazed it with that swing, but Siegel, the catcher, hung on to it. So the caught third strike. That is the second strikeout for Rowe. The batter is David Vinsky. Vinsky, a 2-run double in that first inning rally, tattooed it to deep left center field. RBIs 10 and 11 for Vinsky. Even stance, right-handed batter's box. Watches the first cut outside for ball number 1. Vinsky's hitting .234 on the year. He's connected for 2 home runs with those 11 RBIs. Rowe deals and points a fastball high for ball 2. This is the 20th game that David Vinsky has appeared in. Farmington Hills, Michigan native. And the pitch to him is outside for ball 3. So a commanding lead in the count for Vinsky, 3-0. David, number 18 on the back, 6 feet, 198 pounds. Just 22 years old. He was a 15th round pick back in 2019 by the Cardinals. And he takes a 4th straight pitch out of the strike zone. 4-pitch walk worked by Vinsky with 1 down. And the Cardinals try to get right back at it and keep building on this 5-1 lead. We have had some wild games early on here in 2021. Both games that have featured the Cardinals digging out of early holes and opponents digging out of early holes against the Cardinals. So the one lesson perhaps that you can glean from the month of May is that no lead is safe in the AA Central. First pitch to Justin Turner, down and in for ball 1. And a good sliding stop back there by the San Antonio catcher Chandler Siegel. That kept Vinsky at first base. The count 1-0 for Turner. 1 on, 1 down. Last of the third inning. Double play depth up the middle behind Rowe, who misses outside and high. And the count 2-0. The third inning of Cardinal baseball brought to you by Great Southern Bank. From home loans to bank accounts that fit you, fortify your financial foundation at GreatSouthernBank.com. The wind tonight listed at 7 miles per hour coming in from center field. Kind of still right now as a fastball is outside. And it's 3-0 for Turner. That is 7 straight offerings from Rowe missing the strike zone after he had struck out Plummer to open this inning. Turner a little toggle to the black bat above the shoulder. And he takes outside for the second straight 4-pitch walk. Vinsky will push down to second base. Turner joins him on at first. That is the second walk already for Turner. That's going to bring out Philip Wellman for likely a Mr. Car Wash pitching change. And while he walks out there, let's tell you about Red Wing Shoes, who presents all Cardinals walks. You can walk yourself over to Red Wing Shoes from the work to the weekend, the job site to the ballpark, and everything in between. Red Wing Shoes in Springfield has your feet covered no matter where you're walking. Visit Red Wing Shoes today at 1707 South Campbell. 5-1 Cardinals, 2 on, 1 down. A Mr. Car Wash pitching change break here in the bottom of the third. We'll be right back on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Mr. Car Wash pitching change here at Hammonds Field, bottom of the third inning, and the Cardinals with consecutive walks brought to you by Red Wing Shoes. That spells the end of the evening for Dylan Rowe, who had done really a nice job. He took over in that tumultuous first inning for San Antonio and quieted things down well, put up a 0 in the second inning, and got a strikeout to open up this third inning. But then got a little wild with 8 straight out of the strike zone. So that will bring in number 29, Nick Kuza. And he'll face the number 9 hitter for the Cardinals, Imeldo Diaz. Nick Kuza ready to get to work for the first time this evening, set up on the far first base side of the rubber. First one tails down and outside. Ball 1 for Diaz. And Imeldo ahead in the count early on. So already the third Missions pitcher with the Cardinals bringing those hot bats back home from a offense-laden series in Wichita as a fastball is down and in, taken by Diaz for ball 2. Good speed out there. Vinsky at second base, Turner at first. Both can fly around the base paths. Diaz looking to allow them to try to turn those Jets on. Pitch from Kuza has the outside edge. Good one there. It's 2-1. Imeldo bounced out to second base his first time up today. He's 0 for 1 so far. 225 hitter, 3 RBIs. This is game number 12 for him with Springfield after he opened up the season with a couple of contests in High A Peoria. 2 balls, a strike. Kuza with a breaking ball, bounced softly to short, shuttled, or rather stepped on at second by the shortstop Gibbon. He fires to first and doubles up Diaz. 6-3 double play, nicely turned by Gibbon. Could have been caught in between flipping it to second or taking it himself, but he stomped on the bag himself and took care of the double play. So the Cardinals strand 1. It is 5-1 Springfield, though, and we go to the 4th on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Top of the 4th inning at Hammonds Field on this Tuesday night in the Ozarks. 5-1 Cardinals lead. Opening a 6-game homestand against the San Antonio Missions, AA affiliate of the San Diego Padres, in town for the first time in 2021. Andre Palante, the right-hander, with the first pitch of the inning to Eggy Rosario. And he gets a strike call right on the inside corner. Good fastball. Rosario hits from the right side. He picked up the RBI single in the top of the first inning. Provided a momentary and ultimately fleeting advantage for the Missions, which was erased promptly with a 5-run rally by the Cardinals in the last of the first. This is a tapper foul back into the screen. The count 0-2. Rosario is coming off a good one back on Sunday down in Northwest Arkansas. He hit a home run, his first of the year. Looks at this down and outside, blocked in the dirt by Herrera. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 3 runs batted in for Rosario in his last 11 innings worth of work. Palante with the 1-2, and it's called strike 3, angling down at the letters. Palante freezes Rosario with that breaking ball. It's strikeout number 4 for Andre Palante. And the third time now in the first 4 innings that Palante has struck out the Frames' first hitter. Well, just a perfect pitch right at the top of the strike zone. Started off high and bent down at the last minute right to nick those letters. First one to Astory Ruiz is low for ball 1. Palante got Ruiz to fly out to left field. That wrapped up the first inning. Ruiz 0 for 1 so far. Right-handed batter out of Azua in the Dominican Republic. 1-0 is scorched on a line, a base hit to left field. Cut off out there by Burleson. He comes up firing it into the infield to hold Ruiz to a single. But a sharp one at that with one away here in the 4th inning. So Olivier Basabe will step in for the second time tonight. Team lines through the first third of this ball game. The Missions at 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. Cardinals are at 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors on their side. Basabe set up on the right side, open stance with that front foot a little bit further away from the inside of the batter's box than the back. Throw to first, checks on the runner Ruiz, who dives back in. There are a couple of base stealing threats on this San Antonio roster. They, as a team, have nabbed 27. They've been caught 14 times, 15 counting the caught stealing back in the 3rd. First one for Basabe is slap foul, back out of play, and the count 0-1. But if you look at the league leaders department in steals, San Antonio is well represented. Astory Ruiz, who is at first base currently, he is tied for second most in the league with 7. And then a couple of Missions are tied for 9th in the league with 5. Overall, there are 6 players in the AA Central with 5. Ruiz takes off. The ball gets by Herrera. Back to the screen it goes. No play at second base where Ruiz stops. He'll get a steal on that play. And since no further damage occurred as a result of the ball getting by Herrera, he won't get charged with a pass ball or a wild pitch or anything. So Ruiz into second base with steal number 8 for him. It almost looked like Ivan tried to pop up and throw before he had the ball. There's a low fastball from Palante. And Herrera just hadn't quite caught it yet. 1-1 for Basabe. Scorch past the dive at first base from Baker. It's a single to right field. Being waved around and trying to score is Ruiz. The throw home is cut off by Baker. He fires to second, and they get Basabe at second base. A run scores on the base hit for Basabe. But a great play by Baker, cutting off the throw from right field, and Vinsky out there. And they get the batter, Basabe, trying to nab second on the play. Cardinals ahead 5-2 now. Basabe will get a single and an RBI. But he is retired 9-3-6. At second. So nobody on, 2 down. Chris Gibbon the batter, and he looks at a strike zipped in from Palante for the 0-1 count. Great read by Baker to cut that throw off, knowing with the speed of Ruiz, even a good throw from Vinsky wasn't going to get him at home plate. This pitch low, the count 1-1 for Gibbon on the right side. And instead, Baker cut it off, whipped the ball over to second base with Perez covering, and they got Basabe, emptying the bases, keeping him out of scoring position and trying to avoid a big comeback attempt here for San Antonio in the 4th inning. Fastball a little down and outside. The count 2 balls and a strike. Given his 0 for 1, he flied out to right field his first time at bat. And he shoots this ball to right field. A line shot out there right to David Vinsky, who pulls it in with a backhanded catch after one step back to his left. So a quick wrap up to the inning. San Antonio does get one on the board. Cardinals lead it 5-2, and they're coming up in the bottom of the fourth on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Now we're getting ready for the bottom of the fourth inning at Hammonds Field, and let's tell you a little bit about our friends at Pure and Clean. Safe, effective, trusted, Pure and Clean knocks germs right out of the park with a powerful cleansing solution that's non-toxic, non-allergenic, and scent-free. Pure and Clean's mission since 2015 has been to help people live healthier lives in an increasingly contaminated world. It's the only cleanser I use, whether I'm at home or on the road. They're founded and headquartered in the Ozarks. Pure and Clean is a local company making a global impact. So order your Pure and Clean products right now at www.pureandclean.us. I've got some Pure and Clean at all times. It's good stuff. So the bottom of the fourth inning, Cardinals ahead 5-2. San Antonio did get one on the board in the top of the fourth inning on the base hit by Basabe. But Palante doing a good job to minimize the damage as Delvin Perez skies it down the right field side here, right into the Ozark fence home bullpen at Hammonds Field, and the count 0-1 after the foul. Top of this Cardinal lineup with Perez, Gorman, and Herrera 1, 2, and 3. They're up against the righty Nick Kuza, who took over and with 4 pitches was able to get the final 2 outs in the third inning on a double play ball. First full inning for Kuza, and it's ripped to third base with a scrambling stop. Basabe pops up and fires to first to get Perez. Terrific play by Olivier Basabe, the San Antonio third baseman. Delvin Perez unloaded a rocket on the ground to third, but Basabe scrambled down with a sliding stop to his left. Able to throw a strike across the diamond after that to get the speedy Perez. Delvin is 0 for 2, a walk and a run though in his line. One down and nobody on for Nolan Gorman, who's 2 for 2. First to him is put in the air, foul, third base side, and a souvenir out of play. No balls and a strike for Gorman. 2 more hits for Nolan. He's been on now in 18 of his last 21 ball games. That batting average is up to .291. The OPS up to .801. Line shot up into the Redbird Roost. Look out by the buffet. That's 0-2 for Gorman with another foul ball. Any way you look at it, an outstanding start to the first Double-A season in the career of the Cardinals' number 2 prospect, Nolan Gorman. Bat resting on the back shoulder as he peers out to the mound. The 0-2. Tailing down and in. A good look at a tough breaking ball by Kuza. Good pitch in an 0-2 count, but Gorman not fooled. Really has turned into a nice night here at Hammonds Field, as perhaps unbelievable as that might sound, given the rain all day, as a foul ball is knocked again out of play to the left side. It'll stay 1-2. No drops coming down right now. It's actually, I mean, it's still cloudy, don't get me wrong. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, most of the time at least, but I won't deny it's cloudy up there, but there is some brightness shining through. Fastball down and in, 2-2. Lights are in full effect here at Hammonds Field, illuminating the pristine playing surface. As the 2-2 is taken a little bit low. What a pitch by Kuza that just didn't get that call. Even a better look by Gorman, finding a way to lay off that pitch. Count is full for Nolan. He's got a terrific eye at the plate. 11 walks already for Gorman. 3-2 is a sharp bouncer to the second baseman. Rosario's up with it. Throws to first, and Gorman is called out on the play. That was awfully close at first base. Nolan flying down that first baseline. But retired 4-3. So Gorman is 2 out of 3 today. First time they've gotten him. Batter coming up is Ivan Herrera. Rosario's had a little bit of a tough time playing second base so far. He's had a couple of tough hops to contend with, and that ball kind of shot up on him a little. Did a nice job to avoid fully getting handcuffed by it, and still able to hurry it over to first base with a throw to get Gorman. First one has the outside half of the plate for Herrera. The count 0-1 for the Cardinal catcher. 1 for 2, a base hit, a run, all in the first inning. Looks at one outside, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Herrera then skied it up and out to center field. That was in the second inning. Cardinals ahead by 3. Breaking ball down low for ball number 2. 2-1 for Ivan. Well, come on out tomorrow night and bring your dog. It is Purina Wolf Wednesday, 6:35 first pitch against these Missions. Gates open at 5:35. Dogs are welcome to enjoy the ball game from the outfield berm. 2-1 is a half swing bouncer fouled on the first base side. The count will pull at 2-2, even for Ivan. We've got the happy half hour going as well. That'll be tomorrow, as it is every day. For the first 30 minutes after gates open up, you can enjoy drink specials on all adult beverages for fans 21 and up. 2-2 outside for Herrera. 3-2 the full count. Does not apply to dogs, the happy half hour promotion, but every Wolf Wednesday presented by Purina is kind of a happy hour for dogs. We've got water set up. This is down and in. It's a 2-out walk for Herrera. A good plate appearance by Ivan, who also has worked really a good total of walks this year. That is his 14th free pass already. So it extends the inning for Lucan Baker. 2 RBIs on a single back in the first inning for Lucan. 14 RBIs in total this year for Baker. Hulking in on the right side. The first pitch to Baker is down and in for ball 1. A couple of transactions for the Cardinals. Back on Sunday, St. Louis signed Tyler Pike out of Indy ball. He was up in Fargo Moorhead in the independent leagues. He's a left-handed pitcher and will be joining Springfield. Here's a bouncer right back to the mound, stopped with the chest of the pitcher Kuza, who picks it up quickly and throws to first to get Baker. Good job by Kuza, keeping the ball in front of him with his body and getting the 1-3 put out. So the Cardinals leave Herrera at first base. It is 5-2 Springfield, and we've played 4 on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Cardinal Baseball brought to you by Price Cutter and Ozarks Coca-Cola. Be sure to pick up all your favorite Coca-Cola products at Price Cutter, your local employee-owned grocer. Top of the 5th inning, Cardinals ahead 5-2 on this Tuesday night at Hammonds Field. Andre Palante, the right-hander, back to work out there. It is inning number 5 for him. He has been very good tonight. And the batter that he will face first is the number 9 hitter, Chandler Siegel. Catcher from the right side who fouls it into the screen above the Cardinal dugout on the first base side. 0-1 for Siegel. Palante had a somewhat of a laborious first inning, 33 pitches, 19 strikes. That final out was what proved elusive for a little bit as a fastball rides up and in, and the count 1-1. But boy, since then he has been very good, very efficient as well. It was a 7-pitch second inning. Did need 23 in the third, but he worked around a single and a walk and got out of it with no damage. thanks in part to a caught stealing as he points it outside here. 2 balls and a strike for Siegel. And then in the 4th inning, San Antonio did get a run on the board, their second of the ball game. But in the all-important pitch count department, Palante navigated through that inning with just 13 offerings needed. Down low with the 2-1 pitch here, though. So the count 3 balls and a strike for the right-handed swinging Chandler Siegel. I keep calling Chad Siegel, so I apologize to Chandler. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out to second. Puts it on the ground through the right side here. A base hit for Siegel. San Antonio with a leadoff base hit here in the 5th inning. Nice piece of hitting by Siegel, who has not had an easy go of it in the batter's box so far this year. That is just his 2nd hit of the season. He is 2 out of 28. But a base hit for him to open up the inning and put a man on for the top of the lineup with Jose Azocar coming up. So the Cardinals go to double play alignment on the infield with the middle infield pinched in a little bit. Even with the bag at third is Diaz. Big curve from Palante, whips in for strike 1. We haven't seen that big curveball too often. That one clocked at 69 on the stadium gun, so that'll get you in the neighborhood of being right. Sharper slider in the repertoire as well for Palante has been the breaking ball that we've seen more often. 0-1 pitch is grounded to short. Scoop by Perez to second for 1. Gorman to first for 2. Delvin and Nolan take care of it up the middle. Bases empty and 2 down after the double play. Taylor made ground ball for 2, induced by Palante. Nobody on for Jack Sawinski. 5-2 Cardinals, top of the 5th inning. 2 down. Palante with a fastball, it's outside. They load up on the right side of the infield against Sawinski, the left-handed batter who is once again the reigning Double-A Central Player of the Week. 1-0 is hit softly up the middle, backhanded by the third baseman Diaz, who was all the way over playing basically second in that overshift. So that is technically a 5-3 putout, and it is a quick conclusion to the 5th inning with the Cardinals ahead by the score of 5-2 halfway through this game on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. We're officially halfway home tonight. If you ever find yourself halfway home with car problems, there's only one company to call, and that's Henry's Towing. For 50 years, they've been helping people with tows and jumps to get you the rest of the way home. If you need to get home, let Henry do it. Cardinals trying to bring some more home here in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading this ball game 5-2. With Alec Burleson leading off, the right-hander Nick Kuza back to work on the mound for San Antonio. On the first pitch, down and outside to Burleson for ball 1. Alec 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a ground ball hit to second that was taken by Rosario as he skips this foul down the first base side. A ball and a strike for Burleson. Number 16 prospect in the Cardinals system, the former ECU Pirate. Out there in Greenville, North Carolina. Pitch low, taken by Alec for ball 2. So the count 2-1 for Burleson. Quiet in the batter's box, awaiting the pitch. And a breaking ball has the inside half of the plate. Good slider out of the right hand of Nick Kuza. Team lines halfway through this game for the Missions, 2-6-1. Cardinals at 5-5-0. Swing and a foul tip by Burleson to stay alive. Alec facing Kuza for the first time after Kuza took over for the final 2 outs in the 3rd inning. He's been so far very good. Yielded a walk in the 4th inning, but has gotten ground balls from everybody else that he's faced as a foul is hit back into the screen by Burleson to keep it 2-2. Nick Kuza went to UMass Lowell. Signed on as a free agent with the Padres in 2017. Pitched to Burleson down and in. The count full at 3-2. A native of Seymour, Connecticut. 25 years old, this righty. It looks like we might have a little light mist rejoining the action here in downtown Springfield. Umbrellas are throughout the stands, and they're beginning to be picked back up. Not all of them, though, so it signals that perhaps it's not too bad as a bouncer is knocked softly right side. Taken at first base by Overstreet. He flips it to the covering Kuza, the pitcher, and they get Burleson on a 3-1 putout. So with one down in the bottom of the 5th inning, Cardinals ahead 5-2. The batter is left-handed swinging Nick Plummer. Tomorrow night, we've been telling you about the fun off the field. The fun on the field, it'll be Dalton Roach making his second start for the Cardinals after opening the season in the bullpen. This pitch is down and in. Wall number 1 for Plummer. He'll be up against Rice Kinnear. Roach 1-2, 5.82 ERA. Kinnear 3-1, 4.32 ERA. 1-0 for Plummer. Swing and a miss. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Plummer's 0 for 2, though he did get on an error and bring in a run with that ground ball that was back in the 1st inning. Later scored in the stanza on the double by Vinsky. Rip and a miss and a good changeup here by Kuza. The count 1-2. Nick has been helping fuel this offense, which has been one of the best in the Double-A Central. The Cardinals entered action tonight, the second best team batting average in the league at .253. Second most hits with 196. This ball down and in, 2-2. Total bases, Cardinals rank 4th at 305. They're second in slugging at 394. And OPS, they rank 3rd at 723. 2-2, down and in. Good look by Plummer on a fastball that missed for the full count at 3-2. Nick in that low crouch, even stance left side. Bat waving a little bit over the back shoulder as he now straightens with Kuza stepping off the rubber. Sets himself back up on the far first base side of the pitcher's mound. 3-2 delivery. Rip foul right up against the top step of the Cardinal dugout. And we'll have another full count for Nick Plummer in the left-handed batter's box here at Hammonds Field. Cardinals home every day through June 13th with an off day on June 7th. 3-2 is a half swing bouncer, softly right side, flipped from the glove of Rosario to first, and it's in time to get Plummer. Nick frustrated with himself, stopped his swing, but put it in play. Still took a good play by Eggy Rosario, the second baseman, who has had a little bit of a tough time in the field today. He charged in on that slow, high bouncer and was able to scoop it from his glove in one motion to the glove of the first baseman Overstreet. Just getting Plummer with that nifty putout. 2 more ground outs induced by the righty Kuza. The batter, David Vinsky, with 2 away. Breaking ball looked at down and outside for ball 1. Vinsky dealt the final and one of the biggest blows in that first inning rally with a 2-run double that brought in both Baker and Plummer. This time the breaking ball snaps in there for strike 1 to Vinsky. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. That double changed a 3-1 lead into a 5-1 lead, which currently stands at 5-2 for Springfield. 1-1 is a fastball tucked in for strike 2. Cardinals have been in this position multiple times this year, leading the ball game early, leading the ball game midway through, as a slider swoops down and outside, and the count evens at 2-2. And they have found out multiple times that sometimes those last couple of innings are tough. So you know they would love to keep padding the advantage. That's kind of the moral of the story, especially in a lot of the ballparks in this league. Check swing by Vinsky. He goes around a pitch in the dirt, but Siegel scoops it up and tags Vinsky. Not thrilled that the home plate umpire made the call himself instead of appealing, but that's the deal. And Vinsky's down on strikes. 5 innings down, it's 5-2 Cardinals on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Mr. Car Wash pitching change. Top of the 6th inning. Cardinals ahead 5-2, and they go to the bullpen for the first time today with Ramon Santos, veteran right-hander, coming in. Mr. Car Wash, their proprietary chemistry delivers a clean, dry, shiny car every time, and their dedicated member lanes and free vacuums are just some of the amenities members enjoy. Sign up today to wash as often as you'd like. Shine brighter and get your high-quality car wash at Mr. Car Wash today. So Santos spells Palante, who was once again very good out there. His 6th straight start to open up his season with 2 runs or fewer allowed. Ramon Santos set up. He'll face Kyle Overstreet, heart of the San Antonio lineup, with 3, 4, and 5 here in the top of the 6th inning. And the first is skipped foul softly up against the third base dugout. 0-1 for Overstreet. 4th outing in Double-A this year for Santos. No decisions, a 2.57 ERA. This is a chopper to third. Diaz snags it at the letters, whips it across to Baker, and it's all in time to get Overstreet 5-3. Good play on the chopper at third base by Imeldo Diaz. And a good start for Santos. 7 innings for Ramon in Double-A this year. 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, with 4 walks and 11 strikeouts. He had opened the year in low-A ball with Palm Beach. Ramon appeared in 34 games back in 2018 for Springfield. He was an all-star in the Texas League that year. It was the first as Zunica's ripped at and missed. 0-1. Back in 2018, Santos went 0-2 with a 5.49 earned run average. Fires the 0-1. Good changeup that fooled Zunica, who was way out in front. 0-2. Ramon is 26 years old and has worked his way back up to Double-A ball. 0-2 is high with that change. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Santos makes his home at Villa Altagracia, Dominican Republic. 6'1", 220 pounds. 1-2. Swing and a miss by Zunica. Santos puts him away with the off-speeder again. First strikeout for Ramon since taking over on the mound. And a couple of quick outs to open the 6th inning. Here's Eggy Rosario. 1 for 2, an RBI base hit and a strikeout. Diaz will move a little shallow at third. Now he backs up a step or 2, but still drawn in. And that's why Rosario showed a bunt, brought it back, and he takes ball 1. Cardinals right on it, though. Trying to guard against Rosario, bunting himself aboard. He is 1 for 2 today with a base hit and an RBI back in the 1st inning. This one's high, an off-speed pitch by Santos. 2 balls and nothing. 5-2, Cardinals ahead. All 5 of their runs coming in the big bottom of the 1st. They sent 10 up. They brought 5 home. 2-0 is hammered deep to left field. It's at the wall and it's gone. A solo shot for Rosario. He started the at-bat with a bunt attempt and he ended with a solo home run. Cardinals lead is 5-3 now. Second of the year for Rosario. They have both come in his last 2 ball games. That was a rocket. A low plane on that home run that sailed right over the Federal protection sign in left field and hit the back of the grass berm. There some folks are camped out on one of the benches in general admission. And if they were daring enough to try to stop that ball, they just got a souvenir. So it's 5-3 Cardinals. The batter is Astory Ruiz with nobody on. Takes a close look at a changeup inside for ball 1. Missions have a right-hander warming in the bullpen out there in left field in front of the Plaza Tire Service sign. As a change is ripped out and a miss by Ruiz. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Might be number 16 out there. That would be Mason Fox. That's an awfully long ways away though. Bunt shown by Ruiz. He pulled it back and took inside. It's 2-1. Ruiz 1 for 2 today with a base hit and a steal. He scored in the 4th inning. That was the second San Antonio run. They've scored single tallies in the 1st, the 4th, and the 6th. 2-1 delivery from Ramon is in for a strike and the even count of 2-2. Rosario is responsible for the runs in the 1st with a base hit and the run just a moment ago with a home run here in the 6th inning. 2-2, swing and a miss. Ruiz down on strikes. And a couple of Ks for Ramon Santos in the inning. Does allow a solo home run, however, to Rosario. So the Cardinal lead is 2 runs. It's 5-3 Springfield. Bottom of the 6th next on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. We've got a Mr. Car Wash pitching change on the San Antonio side to tell you about. Cardinals ahead 5-3 after the solo home run a moment ago by Eggy Rosario for San Antonio. And the Missions do go to the pen, and the right-hander Mason Fox will take over. Number 16 on his back. Brought to you by Mr. Car Wash. No matter what you drive, you're going to feel even better about your car after you visit Mr. Car Wash. Their unlimited Wash Club memberships start at only $19.99 a month and are available at all 6 Springfield locations of Mr. Car Wash. So Fox takes over. Justin Turner, Imeldo Diaz, and Delvin Perez come up, or due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Cardinals trying to get back to attack mode here, which they were in a big way in that 5-run first. First to Turner is on the outside edge from Fox, the righty, for strike 1. Fox is out of Canton, North Carolina. Went to college at Gardner-Webb, small little private school in North Carolina. He was a 21st rounder by the Padres. Pop up, foul side of third. And a good grab by Basabe going back for it. So Turner is retired on a foul out to third. First time they've kept Justin off the bases. He had walked twice his first 2 times up. And with 1 down, the batter is Imeldo Diaz. Right-handed third baseman coming up. Number 9 hitter for the Cardinals tonight. He's been kept 0 for 2 with a bouncer to second and a double play ball to short. Looks at a fastball up and in for ball number 1. Eighth outing for Fox this year out of the San Antonio bullpen. Wave and a miss by Diaz on a slow breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fox has had a little bit of a bumpy road this year. He's gone 2-1 at 12.10 ERA. 9 2/3 innings with 14 runs, 13 earned on 16 hits. 8 walks to 9 strikeouts. Fastball up and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Fox last got into a ball game back on Sunday. Finds the zone with a good curve. It's 2-2 for Diaz. And in 1 inning against the Naturals, 4 hits, 4 runs. He actually had been really pitching pretty well. Last 2 outings, though, he gave up a combined 8 runs. Called strike 3 here. He freezes Diaz. 2 quick outs retired by Fox. Trying to bounce back after a couple of tough outings. And off to a good start in that regard with 2 out to start his first inning here in the 6th. So Delvin Perez makes his way back into the batter's box. 4th time Perez has stepped up tonight. Back to the top of the Cardinal lineup. And he bounces this softly left side. Long run over for Basabe. He fields, fires to first in time. And a good smooth play by Basabe, swooping in from third to retire Perez. A 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th inning. Cardinals ahead 5-3, 6 in the books on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Cardinals baseball brought to you by Highland Dairy. Get healthy with Highland and their full lineup of all your favorite dairy products. Be sure to check out the Highland Dairy Creamery on the main concourse during Cardinals games as well. Top of the 7th inning, 5-3 Cardinal lead at Hammonds Field tonight with Ramon Santos right back to work. Olivier Basabe, the number 7 hitter, leads off. And the first pitch to him is inside, ball 1. Basabe, Given, and Siegel, lower third of the San Antonio lineup. Missions have been chipping away with single tallies in the 4th and the 6th. After the Cardinals had staked a 5-1 lead after the first inning. This is outside from Ramon, 2 balls and nothing. Well, Thursday night, come on over. We've got Clements Dollar Bratwursts all night long, but that is not all. 7:05 start time. Gates open at 6:05. And you know we've been doing this happy half-hour promotion we've been telling you all about. 2-0 fastball outside, ball 3. And every single night here at the ballpark, the happy half-hour starts when gates open, and for the first 30 minutes after gates open, adults 21 and up can enjoy drink specials on all adult beverages. Well, this Thursday, 3-0, down and in. Well, no, that is ball 3. It's 3-1, okay. But anyway, back to important matters. This Thursday, the happy half hour is going all night. 3-1 is put on the ground sharply up the middle. Perez glides to his left. He fields and fires to first in time. A nice play by Delvin Perez. Had a long run from deep in that shortstop hole. He swoops to his left. He fields and he gets Basabe for the first out. 6-3 put out. Handled adeptly by Delvin. Nobody on with 1 down. The batter, Chris Given. So, at 6:05, gates will open at Hammonds Field on Thursday night. Fastball is high, ball 1. At that time, you can start enjoying Clements Dollar Bratwursts. And you can also enjoy the happy half-hour promotion all night on Thursday. Not just the first 30 minutes after gates open like normal, but all night on Thursday. This is inside, 2-0. With drink specials on all adult beverages the entirety of the night on Thursday for fans 21 and up. And we do encourage, of course, everyone to enjoy the beverages responsibly. Enjoy the brats responsibly as well. Can overdo it on both. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-1. Given is 0 for 2. He's flied out to right field both times. And he bounces this foul down the third base side, so the count 2-2 very quickly. Then on Friday, we're right back at it with the next Friday fireworks show after the ball game. 7:05 start. Gates at 6:05. That's back to the normal happy half-hour promotion. First 30 minutes after gates open. Those drink specials on adult beverages, fans 21 and up. on Friday. And it'll be nice to see this place full. Had capacity limits in May. This comes up and in, and it grazes the arm of Chris Given, who was not going to move out of the way of that off-speed pitch. To his credit, he didn't move into it. He just stood there, and it got him. So Chandler Siegel will come back to bat, the number 9 hitter, with a man at first base, 1 down. Siegel does represent the tying run all of a sudden in the batter's box. Cardinals ahead by 2 here in the 7th. Siegel 1 for 2 today, a base hit and a ground out. Double play depth behind Santos up the middle. And a fastball down and outside, ball 1. Capacity limits and, of course, the mask ordinances in May. But June is bringing it back a little bit more normalcy, and of course a big part of that is continuing to keep getting some vaccines out there. Here's a popped up bunt caught by Santos right in front of the mound. That'll do it for Siegel very quickly. Bunt attempt by Siegel gone awry, and remaining at first base is Given. 2 down with the man at first. The batter is the leadoff man, Jose Azocar. 1 for 3 today, a strikeout, a single, a caught stealing, and a double play. First one to Azocar. A little low with a fastball for ball 1. But as is the case every year, Memorial Day comes and goes, and that sort of ushers in summer, unofficially, of course. Things pick up every June at Hammonds Field. This is popped up, shallow center field, long run in for Turner, flying underneath it, and Turner will put it away mid-stride. He could cover some ground in a hurry, and Turner runs it down for the final piece of a scoreless 7th inning. It's time to stretch at Hammonds Field. Cards up 5-3 on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Now this copyright broadcast is presented by the authority of the Springfield Cardinals, LLC, and it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Springfield Cardinals. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Cardinals coming to bat. Heart of the lineup to face the right-hander Mason Fox with Gorman, Herrera, and Baker. Cardinals up 5-3. First to Gorman is pummeled foul. That comes smacking back off the sweet level. And the count 0-1 for Nolan. 5-3 Cardinals coming out of the 7th inning stretch at Hammonds Field on this Tuesday evening. Fastball backs Gorman out of the batter's box inside. It's 1-1. Nolan's had another good day in that batter's box with 2 singles today. He's 2 for 3. The pitch to him is put in the air, left field, back towards the corner, racing for it, Ruiz, and he gets there, crossing onto the warning track to reel it down. Nolan aiming for that short porch out there in left field at Hammonds. Just could not quite get enough behind it, though. And the second baseman is 2 out of 4 tonight. So the batter, Ivan Herrera. One for 2, single and a run. Fox spins a breaking ball down and away, ball 1. Cardinals have a right-hander in the Ozark Fence home bullpen warming up. Fastball lifted foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike for Herrera. Talking about some of the upcoming fun. Saturday, Cardinals and Missions at 6:05 p.m. Gates at 5:05. Fastball down and outside, 2-1. Can enjoy a little Saturday night Cardinal baseball. The happy half hour going when gates open up that night. 2-1 for Herrera. Angles down on the outside edge. Good breaking ball by Fox. It's 2-2. It is Edgar Escobar warming up in the bullpen for the Cardinals. This is foul away. 2-2 the count for Herrera. And then things wrap up on Sunday against San Antonio. That's a 6:05 start time. Highland Dairy Ice Cream Sunday. Free ice cream for kids before the game. Kids run the bases after the ball game. 2-2 is a check swing, and it's inside, and Herrera is able to hold up, according to Ben Fernandez, the first base umpire. So a full count for Ivan. Sunday wraps things up against San Antonio, but the Cardinals stay home. It's an off day on Monday, June 7th, but the Arkansas Travelers come to town for a brand new 6-game series Tuesday, June the 8th through Sunday, June 13th. Foul ball tapped by Herrera, fighting off a curve to stay alive and see another 3-2. So a big stretch of home games opening up the month of June, and what better timing than now when capacity limits are lifted and you don't have to wear a mask anymore at the ballpark. Now we do encourage anybody who's not vaccinated to still consider that, as this is ball 4 for Herrera. And Ivan is on, 1 out of 2 with a base hit and his second Red Wing Shoes walk. So the patience continues for Herrera, who is up to 15 walks now on the year. And they're all brought to you by Red Wing Shoes. Heavy duty meets lightweight with Red Wing's full line of work boots, Irish setter work and hunt boots, and so much more at Red Wing Shoes in Springfield, located at 1707 South Campbell. Luke and Baker the batter, 1 on and 1 down. Fastball is up and in for Baker, ball number 1. Five to 3 Cardinals in front, bottom of the 7th inning. And the pitch tucks in there this time, a fastball from Fox. 1 ball and 1 strike for Baker. They've got the third baseman Basabe towards the line. Somewhat of a combination of no doubles and double play depth. 1-1. Breaking ball lifted high to deep center field. Going back is Azokar, and he gets there right in front of the warning track. Back to first in a hurry is Herrera, who gets there without a play. Baker gave it a ride to straightaway center, but Azokar turned the afterburners on and ran it down nicely. Cardinals have hit a couple of long fly balls in this inning. Gorman's was caught in deep left. Baker's caught in deep center. Herrera in between the two worked the walk. He's at first, 2 down for Alec Burleson. Burleson's been hitting long fly balls since coming up from Peoria. And he fouls this one back over our heads for strike 1. Now, the Cardinals last week announced the promotional giveaway items this year. So you can check those out right now at SpringfieldCardinals.com. One is scheduled. The others are pending when it comes to dates. Burleson takes a fastball low and inside. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike for the Cardinal left fielder. Set up in the left-handed batter's box. 1-1 is line to left field. A base hit for Burleson. Herrera burns past second, now puts the brakes on, and will stop at second base on a screaming single by Alec Burleson to put 2 men on. Burleson going the opposite way to left center field. 2 on, 2 down. The batter is Nick Plummer. We do have our first giveaway coming up next homestand. Saturday, June the 12th, is the Central Bank White Cardinals cap giveaway for 2,000 fans. That is a 6:05 first pitch. Gates at 5:05 on Saturday, the 12th of June. First one to Plummer. Bending down and in. Nick able to check the swing and to keep it back. 1 ball and nothing. First of many great promotional giveaway items this year. It's not too late to sign up for a promo club membership with a Red Access membership, and you can guarantee all the giveaways. 1-0 on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. You can get all the info about the promo club on SpringfieldCardinals.com or by calling the front office at 417-863-2143. 1-1. Fastball on the outside edge. Plummer down 1-2. Two on, two down. Cardinals trying to scratch some insurance across here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Herrera at second base. Burleson behind him at first. The batter, Plummer. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball lifted high to left center field. Going back on it is Ruiz. He's on the warning track and he drops the ball. It lands in left center. Herrera scores. Burleson scores. Plummer slides into third. It's 7-3 Cardinals. I believe they're going to call that a 2-run triple. Ruiz just never got there. He was twisting and turning onto the warning track out in deep left center and had to try a last-minute lunge on that ball. So a booming triple by Plummer off the glove of Ruiz. Second triple for Nick this year. He's up to 12 runs batted in, and the Cardinals indeed find the insurance in the 7th. It's 7-3. Here's Vinsky fouling the first one away. 0-1 for David. Plummer, the only Cardinal out there at third base. 2 down in the 7th inning, with both Herrera and Burleson scoring on the 2-run triple by Plummer. This ball in the dirt, the count 1-1. Well, that was one of those fly balls that hung up there for a long time, and it's one that you'd probably, if you're Ruiz, want to have another try at. This one is ripped on a line to third, caught by Basabe. Robbing Vinsky of an RBI base hit. Basabe reels in the scorcher, and it wraps up the 7th inning with a man left at third. Cardinals, though, bringing a pair on the triple by Plummer. It's 7-3 Springfield through 7 on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. Edgar Escobar takes over on the mound for the Cardinals. Top of the 8th inning, 7-3 Springfield in a Mr. Car Wash pitching change. Keep your car clean, dry, and shiny all year round with Mr. Car Wash's Unlimited Wash Club. You can wash your car as often as you like at any of Mr.'s 6 Springfield locations or at 340 locations throughout North America. Perfect for that road trip, all for one low monthly fee. Monthly memberships start at $19.99. Visit Mr. Car Wash today. So the Cardinals adding 2 on the 2-out, 2-run triple by Nick Plummer a moment ago. 7-3 Springfield. And they turn it to the right-hander out of the Ozark Fence home bullpen, Edgar Escobar. 6'1", 231 pounds. He is 24 years old from Ciudad Habana in Cuba. Escobar, the third Cardinal to toe the rubber today after Palante went the first 5. Ramon Santos tossed a pair. And it will be Escobar. And to take on the Missions here in the 8th inning. Sawinski, Overstreet, and Zuniga coming up. And the home plate umpire, Isaias Barba, is going to call out the grounds crew to come apply a little turfis to the mound. So things getting a little soggy out there. Umbrellas are still up. I'm looking at a couple puddles around, and it doesn't appear to be actively raining that badly. Maybe still that mist going on, but I think it's the cumulative effect of 7 innings of it. So the award-winning grounds crew here at Hammonds Field will get to work. They'll dry up that landing spot on the pitcher's mound. So important to make sure that the footing is good there, of course. And we'll get back underway momentarily. It does Give us a moment to remind you that every eighth inning brought to you by Price Cutter and Budweiser. When you're looking for some Rally Buds and all your favorite Budweiser products, pick them up at Price Cutter, your local employee-owned grocer. Price Cutter, not only your local employee-owned grocer, but a terrific community partner. They, along with Ozarks Community Technical College over there. I said that backwards somehow. Ozarks Technical Community College. Not only do they have the OTC sign in right field, they also have the gigantic and beautifully lit sign across Chestnut that I stare at, and somehow I still said that like Yoda. But Ozarks Technical Community College and Price Cutter are both partnering with the Cardinals to provide free parking for fans this year. You can park for free at Price Cutter, right across National from the ballpark, or over at OTC. And not park in other parking lots in the general vicinity of Hammonds Field, none of which are owned by the Cardinals or operated by the Cardinals, but some of which are owned by terrific community members providing free parking. So a big thank you to Price Cutter and Ozarks Technical Community College. Well, we're ready here in the eighth inning. The mound is dried up for Escobar. He'll take on Sawinski, Overstreet, and Zuniga. And a fastball rides high for the 1-0 count for Jack Sawinski in the left-handed batter's box. Cardinals load up on the right side. Only Perez remains on the left side of the infield with Diaz, the third baseman, up the middle. And a breaking ball slides over the inside edge for strike one. 7-3 Cardinals after the two-run triple by Nick Plummer. 1-1 has the outside corner. That was a good little backdoor slider or cutter. Some late sharp break to that pitch that whipped over that outer edge to the left-handed batter for strike two. 1-2, way outside this time, and it's 2-2. Now the Cardinal outfield playing straight away. They have amended the infield to be closer to normal, with Diaz, the third baseman, and Perez, the shortstop, basically trading positions right now, but they're back to 2-2 on the infield. And a swing and a miss here by Sawinski gets him out of there on a strikeout. Escobar starting his eighth inning off with a K. One down and nobody on for those two veteran bats in the heart of the lineup. Overstreet digging in on the right side, and then Zuniga looming in the on-deck circle. Each of whom you would really rather face with the bases empty, and that is the case right now. Nobody on, one down. First one chopped to short right there. Perez plays it on the bounce, plants, and fires to first in time. Overstreet retired on one pitch from Escobar, and there are two quick outs in the top of the eighth. Delvin Perez, a couple of nice plays in the field today. Was part of a well-turned double play in the fifth inning. That went 6-4-3. Delvin had a long run on a Basabe ground ball up the middle in the seventh inning. He was shading to play Basabe to pull it as a fastball whips in for a strike to Zuniga. So that made it really a tougher play for Delvin back in the seventh on that bouncer than it otherwise would have been. But he had a long run, was able to glide over, field, and fire it over to first base. And a solid play right there on the Overstreet chopper that, when the infield is a little wet, as good as this infield is, as the ball is inside here, the pitch is inside, so it's 1-1. But sometimes you get a strange hop or two. Perez has handled each of them tonight very well. Pop up left side of the infield. Diaz staring up into the sky will give way to Perez back onto the shallow left field grass. Delvin snares it down. And it is a quick 1-2-3 inning of work for Edgar Escobar out of the Cardinal bullpen, keeping it 7-3 Springfield as we go to the bottom of the eighth on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. 7-3 lead for the Cardinals, bottom of the eighth inning at Hammonds Field on this Tuesday night in downtown Springfield. Happy to have you along with us here on ESPN Radio The Jock, 96.9, 99.9. 10:60 a.m. SpringfieldCardinals.com, MILB TV, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. However you're joining us, we appreciate it. Going to be 8-9-1 for Springfield coming up with Turner, Diaz, and Perez. Cardinal line 7-7-0. San Antonio 3-7-1. And the right-hander taking over in a Mr. Car Wash pitching change for the Missions is number 9, Jose Quezada. 5'9", 165. He's 25 years old, out of Chihuahua, Mexico. Quezada is set up, will open the 8th inning against Turner. Justin ready on the left side. Patient evening with 2 Red Wing Shoes walks tonight. And he looks at a ball up and away for ball number 1. Well, that has always been a part of Turner's game. Whether the bat is hot or it's trying to get hot, you know that he is going to put in good plate appearance after good plate appearance. He did so back in 2019 and got himself into a great spot in that batter's box. As this is on the inside edge, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Turner's 2019 ended a little early. He made a just amazing catch in left center field at One Oak Field in Tulsa, went crashing into the fence, and ended up missing a little time after that, after the impact, as this is outside, 2-1. But Turner, back in 2019, had reached base in 16 of his final 20 games played. He'd hit safely in 11 of them. From July 18th to August 14th, 2019, hit .297, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, and had 14 walks. 2-1. Down beneath the kneecaps for ball 3, a good hitter's count for Turner. I bet Justin can't wait to get back to Tulsa. He made that incredible catch up against left center field. Of course, we'd much rather him avoid the injury part of that play. As the 3-1 is inside, it's ball 4, and that's another Red Wing Shoes walk. Justin Turner's got 3 of them alone tonight. And, you know, with premium leather, double stitching, and resolable welts, created American-made footwear that lasts for years. All available at Red Wing Shoes in Springfield, located at 1707 South Campbell. Imeldo Diaz, the batter, 1 on, nobody down. Cardinals ahead by 4 in the last of the 8th inning. Quezada with a fastball misses up and outside for ball 1. But Turner not only made that phenomenal play up against the left center field wall last, 2 years ago, last season, back in 2019. He also robbed Cody Thomas, who led the league that year in home runs. He robbed him twice, jumping into the bullpen in right field at One Oak. This pitch is inside. It's ball 2. And that will bring out the catcher, Siegel, for a Burrell Behavioral Health mound visit. Please remember, if you're experiencing a behavioral health crisis, don't wait. Contact Burrell's 24-hour crisis line at 1-800-494-7355. Learn more at burrellcenter.com. First, or rather the second mound visit of the game for San Antonio. 2-0. Put on the ground left side. A diving try by Basabe. It gets by him. Backed up by the shortstop, Given, but he doesn't have a play. Infield single for Imeldo Diaz. To second goes Turner. Cardinals in business in the bottom of the 8th inning with their first 2 men on, nobody out. And the top of this lineup coming back up. That was a perfectly placed ground ball by Imeldo Diaz. Eluded the diving try of Basabe from third. Given kept it in the infield, but by the time he got to it, deep in that 6-5 hole, no shot at getting it out. So the batter is Delvin Perez. First pitch is inside, and it hits him on the arm. Perez spins down to the dirt in a bunch of pain. Cardinal manager Jose Lajer comes down the third base line. Athletic trainer Chris Whitman comes out of the dugout. That's going to load the bases with no outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Perez slowly works himself up to one knee. And is getting checked out by Cardinal trainer Chris Whitman. Not sure exactly where on the left side or the left arm that got him. He wears that elbow guard, but apparently it missed that. A walk, a base hit, and a hit batter, though. Cardinals with 3 on to open this inning, and Nolan Gorman coming up. Well, Perez appears to be okay as he'll get the athletic trainer escort down to first base. Chris Whitman continuing to check on the Cardinal leadoff man, who's going to stay in this ball game. So an opportunity to really blow this game open here. Turner's at third. Diaz behind him at second. And Perez at first base. Here comes Nolan Gorman. Gorman set up on the left side. The first pitch to him. A fastball on the outer half. Strike one. 2 for 4 today for Gorman with a pair of singles. Nolan in that open stance on the left side. Quezada deals, and it's ripped foul right back into the suites. I think that was a barehanded attempt down there, which was brave. That ball was moving. 0-2 for Gorman. They're playing for the double play on the infield. Outfield is shallow for San Antonio. Gorman patiently resting the bat on the shoulder. The 0-2. Swinging a ground ball off the side of the mound. Kicks to Rosario. He flips to second for 1. On to first for 2. It does bring in a run from third base. It is 8-3 Cardinals. But on the 4-6-3 double play, there won't be an RBI for Gorman. So Perez out at second base, Gorman out at first base. In from third came Turner. Down to third, and the only man remaining out there is Diaz. With 2 down, Ivan Herrera will try to bring him home. Cardinals lead this game by 5. It is 8-3. Herrera's 1 for 2 today with a base hit and 2 walks. First pitch to him is on the outside half of the plate. A good, slow, off-speed pitch by Quezada for strike 1. Cardinals are up to 7 walks in this game as a fastball is down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike for Herrera. Herrera's got 2 of those walks. 3 belong to Turner. It's been a patient day for Springfield. This is a bouncer hit softly down the third base side, charging in Basabe. He's going to let it roll. It's an infield base hit for Herrera with Diaz scoring. 9-3 Cardinals on an RBI infield single for Ivan Herrera. I think Basabe realized early on he had no chance. That ball not hit very hard by Ivan. And Basabe's only hope was that it would take some crazy left turn and roll foul down the third base side, but it wasn't any really where near the foul line. So it's an infield base hit and an RBI for Herrera. He's 2 for 3 today, and that's RBI number 13 for the catcher. A birthday RBI for Ivan today. Cardinals up to a 6-run lead in this game. Lucan Baker set up on the right side. Herrera off first base. Baker's 1 for 4. He drove in the first 2 runs of the day for Springfield with a 2-run single back in the first inning. And he takes down and away for ball 1. One and 0 for Baker inside this time from Quezada. 2 balls, no strikes. It is a new season high for the Cardinals with 7 walks today. Two and 0. Swinging a foul back out of play. It'll be 2 balls, 1 strike for Baker. Overstreet is off the bag at first. And this is a line drive to right center field. Charging in from center, but pulling up is Azócar. A single for Baker. Herrera down to second base. Lucan's got a 2-hit day. And the Cardinals continue the 8th inning with a 2-out knock for Baker. 2 on, 2 down, and Burleson coming back up. Still a little work to do to get to record territory. Cardinals' record for most walks in a ball game is 11. They've done that 3 different times in the first 15 years of Springfield Cardinals baseball. Two on, 2 down, and a fastball is in to Burleson for strike 1. May 23rd, 2007 at San Antonio against the Missions. May 12th, 2013, that was against Northwest Arkansas. If I remember correctly, that was the 20-inning ball game. That might not count as a fastball is outside, 1-1. And then May 2nd, 2016 against Arkansas. The 3 times the Cardinals have drawn 11 walks in a ball game. They're at 7 so far today, which does represent a season high. Burleson is 1 for 4 today, 2 on, 2 out. Swing and a miss on a good fastball from Quezada. The count 1-2 for Alec. 2 more runs in this inning for the Cardinals. 1 on a double play ball hit by Gorman, 1 on a base hit by Herrera. Springfield with 4 runs in the 7th and 8th innings combined. As Burleson laces it down the left field side, it's going to stay fair. Into the corner it goes. Around third and scoring is Herrera. Baker pulls into third. Burleson into second. An RBI double. It's 10-3 Cardinals. 2 for 5 today for Alec Burleson with his 10th RBI in his 11th Double-A game. Driving a double down the left field line. So runners are at second and third. Nick Plummer is at bat. Plummer, the 8th Cardinal to come up here in the 8th inning. Checks his swing on an angling breaking ball and does not go. Ball 1. Plummer delivered the 2 runs in the 7th inning on a 2-run triple that caromed off the glove of Ruiz on the left field warning track. He could pick up 2 more with a base hit. Looks at a fastball. It's in there. Strike 1. 10 runs on 11 hits for Springfield tonight. They have been on the attack since that first inning. 5 runs in the bottom of the first. 2 in the 7th. 3 here in the 8th. 1-1. Just outside, a little backdoor slider attempted by Quezada that wouldn't cut back far enough, and a good take by Plummer. 2 balls and a strike for Nick, choking up a bit on the bat. Outfield is shallow. They'll try to prohibit 2 from scoring on a single. Right side of the infield, push back deep, playing Plummer to pull it. The pitch is rocketed foul. That's just by the Great Southern Bank sign in left field. Down to the visiting clubhouse tunnel. So 2-2 for Plummer. 1 for 4 in total, but he's also reached on an error, which brought in a run back in that first inning rally. Later scored. 2-2. Grounded down the third base side. Basabe backhands a long throw to first base, and he gets Plummer by half a stride. A nice play by Basabe. That will end the inning with a 5-3 putout. But the Cardinals bring in 3 more runs to make it 10-3 through the first 8 innings, trying to slam the door in the 9th on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network. 9th inning at Hammonds Field. Cardinals up big. It's 10-3 against the San Antonio Missions. Opening up a big stretch of 12 games in 13 days here in downtown Springfield. And I would love to close this one down with a speedy frame from the right-hander Edgar Escobar. First pitch fastball is up and into Eggy Rosario. So it's ball number 1 for the right-handed batter. Escobar out there for his second inning after a quick 1-2-3/8 frame. Rosario, Ruiz, and Basabe 5, 6, and 7 for San Antonio here in the 9th. And the pitch slides over the outside corner. Good one from Escobar. 1 ball and 1 strike, the even count. Cards padding the lead with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning a moment ago. This is a fastball fired across for strike 2. Cardinal line is up to 10 runs on 11 hits tonight. 1-2. Swing and a miss by Rosario. Escobar opens up his second straight inning with a strikeout. Six of the 9 innings the San Antonio Missions have batted have started with a strikeout. Palante did it in the first, the second, the fourth. Here's a fastball in there, strike 1 to Ruiz. Escobar with the pitch. It's lifted to deep left field. Burleson back. He's there, and he's got it. Out number 2 here in the 9th inning. Ruiz hit it well to left, but Burleson tracked it perfectly in front of the warning track. And there are 2 down in the top of the 9th with the Missions down to their final out in this game. Olivier Basabe steps in. 2 down, nobody on. Cardinals lead 10-3. Escobar set up at the letters. He fires the first. A bouncer right side. Gorman to his left, stabs it with the glove, fires to first in time. And the Cardinals take the series opener 10-3. Wrapped up with 6 straight outs recorded by Edgar Escobar out of the bullpen. 10-3 the final at Hammonds Field. Cardinals with the win to start off this series against San Antonio. Post-game report next on the Missouri Department of Conservation Cardinals Radio Network.